They done took down Puff. They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people.
But I know they went up to the feds one day and they took some paperwork up there to him.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday.
But like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
Man, that was 50 Cent. No one's scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but what do you think about it?
I don't think it was taken out of context. No, I think the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. You see what I'm saying? So he had to say, yo, nobody scared of 50. Let's get this clear. Nobody is scared of 50. But I'm not the issue. Him making you feel like a punk is the issue. And at the end of the day, I look at it and people don't assess themselves. Even really intelligent people. Jay is a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? He'll analyze other people and other things that they're doing and not actually look at what's happening to him and his transition and difference.
Jay, your music saved my life, man. We're Sagittarius too, Bob. Thank you so much.
What if the silence around Jay-Z isn't loyalty, but strategy? What if while Diddy faces a storm loud enough to shake the entire industry, the real power move is happening in complete quiet? Because here's what insiders, rivals, and former allies keep hinting at. Distance isn't always accidental.
They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people. You do the history on most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help?
That's true.
When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who did he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. And what they gonna say if he don't come up and nothing? What they gonna say? Told you, he ain't got nothing to do with that. They still gonna cover it up anyway. But I don't think they coming after him at all. I don't think they got, like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something years.
There was a time when Diddy and Jay-Z looked untouchable. Billionaire status, boardrooms, cultural dominance, the kind of power that makes people whisper instead of question. But then the legal spotlight hit Diddy, and suddenly the atmosphere changed. Allegations, investigations, lawsuits, nothing proven in court at the time of these claims, but loud enough to...
You got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became retired and connected and this and that and the third till they just know she got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side? You know what I'm saying? If something happened with him, it's going to be about a money situation. It ain't going to be nothing that's going to hurt. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't see them going after him. You know what I'm saying? But everything Jaguar be saying do flourish. So
while Diddy was trending for all the wrong reasons, Jay-Z did something interesting. He didn't defend. He didn't attack. He didn't explain. He went quiet. And that's where 50 Cent enters the frame. He's been vocal, almost methodical, commenting publicly, hinting at documentaries, even teasing Netflix projects tied to Diddy's controversies.
And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're going to be crazy. It's going to be the women that get them in the end.
Some observers say Jay-Z allegedly began creating space long before things escalated. Not dramatic exits, not public fallout, just subtle separation. And when legal names like attorney Alex Spiro appeared in overlapping conversations involving high-profile figures, critics online began asking questions. Nothing confirmed beyond public records of representation, but timing raised eyebrows. Was it coincidence or calculated positioning? She's controversial, polarizing, frequently disputed, but persistent in multiple interviews.
These are criminals. Diddy is a deal, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seemed like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me. I'm trying to move beyond Diddy. I'm Love now. It seems like Jay-Z would try to run away from his past.
Calling that love and anything that he did love. Brother love. What kind of love? Baby oil love. Baby love. Baby love. Explicit love. Hey! They never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Oh man, it's different now.
These lyrics are all hitting different right now. All that people talking about fathers.
According to her narrative, Jay-Z and Diddy's stories are deeply linked. She frames them as inseparable figures in the same ecosystem of power. Again, allegations, not court findings. But the internet doesn't wait for verdicts.
Testifying about what he says happened with Combs in 2011 and 2012.
Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him. And so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Mm. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jag, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Who died of an imaginary aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list.
Then came the social media shift. Fans noticed follow accounts fluctuating. Silence from Jay. Silence from Beyonce. No statements. No emotional posts. Just controlled quiet. To some, that meant composure. To critics, it meant insulation. And here's the tension. Silence protects you, but it also invites speculation.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
And in her eyes, it's not just Jay-Z who's a criminal, but also his wife, Beyonce.
Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else. Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that?
I think she's
waiting the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his big people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington. Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Jaguar's most explosive claims weren't just about contracts or alliances. She referenced old industry tragedies, long-standing rivalries, and alleged betrayals. She spoke about East Coast versus West Coast politics, about fear, about survival, heavy claims.
No, I know.
Never. He said he would never sit with me. He would never have me on his. He never wanted to talk to me. Never would.
But I got receipts. Vlad, why did you reach out to Jag back in June asking for Jag to be on the show?
Why you do that, Vlad?
Vlad, why you playing in our face?
Why you lying on me?
And Vlad, and your fat wife.
We'll stop there.
Damn.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday. I saw it. I never responded. Odell responded. Weeks and weeks later. But then again, Diddy was already in trouble, so you really didn't need to talk to me because you couldn't do much disinformation with me? I guess that's why your friend from the Star Report, or should I say the Comet Report, because he crashed out just like a comet. I guess that's why he was so upset when I started asking him relevant questions about why he's propping up a liar. At this point in time, Vlad, I think it's only fair to say that Carol Johnson, your assistant, unless you're saying you didn't know, she sent this on your behalf.
One story that resurfaced involved a Tupac hotel incident from the 90s. In interviews, it's been alleged that Jay-Z was hesitant to appear publicly during tense moments between camps. There is no court confirmation of wrongdoing, only stories passed through voices over time. But here's the pattern critics highlight. Survival first. Up history. Meetings that allegedly didn't go as planned. Industry lines drawn quietly.
I didn't even know Vlad was going to be on.
Oh.
Like I said, it was brilliant. Wow. Because everything that he said, denouncing me and then confirming me and then talking about, that all happened a day before the report about the 9-year-old boy was released. And before people started confirming that the video that was being shopped around was Bieber and Diddy. See, that's the problem with running your mouth, Vlad. That's the problem. You didn't realize on Monday that every word that you said was going to be invalidated on Tuesday. See, that's what happens when you're a liar. See, I didn't have to worry about what I said on Monday, because I knew what I said on Monday was going to hold up on Wednesday. The truth needs no support, just time and room.
The concept of death row E's floated through hip-hop history. Meetings that allegedly didn't go as planned. Industry lines drawn quietly. Some say Jay learned early that longevity requires strategic retreat. Again, narrative,
about what he says
not
happened
verdict,
with Combs
but
in
survival
2011
became
and 20.
part of the mythology. Industry connections with figures like R. Kelly have been pulled into online discussions. Critics allege distance.
They go up to the feds with all this paperwork. You understand? And I mentioned this before. You understand? They not only talking about the extortion stuff, they talking about how they trying to be made to and to have this what you call this promotion, this distribution thing. And which I'm finding out they wasn't even going to be a part of it until later. But they was in fear, like they was trying to be made to be a part of this whole distribution thing that Suge Knight was trying to build up with Rockefeller, because it was Dame Dash, it was Irv Gotti, it was Jay Prince, and Death Row. You understand what I'm saying? So now everybody wanna know who's this and who's that, and want to go back and say, yo, how do you know? It came from the horse's mouth. He said he got all the paperwork to prove it. Kirk Burrows said it plenty of times, but nobody won't sit down with him. I mean, like, you won't get none of these, these radio stations and all this stuff like that to sit down with him. He said, I got the paperwork. He got files from the from the DEA and the FBI, all that stuff like that. He got plenty of paper.
Then scrutiny expanded beyond him. Beyonce's name began circulating in comment sections and podcasts. Extreme allegations surface online. None proven. No charges tied to her in these narratives. Yet silence fuels.
But Jay-Z, I didn't know about that. So Jay-Z, he told too?
Said that years ago, man. Said that years ago. What are you gonna do? They're gonna do whatever. Yo, listen to me. They're the reason why rap in New York went down the drain. They made sure that these young cats didn't come up with platforms and didn't come up with situations. Like Jay-Z, let me tell you something. Jay-Z and it's funny. It's funny. We were talking about how Puff and Ja Rule was cool. But at one time, Puff was trying to trick Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. That whole weekend that he was with Sarah. The whole weekend they was in that hotel room. That day they was in that hotel room. All the way coming back on that G5 jet. He was trying to talk Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. But now him and Jay-Z is like freaking frat. Crazy how things work out, huh?
Backlash followed. DJ Vlad publicly dismissed some of Jaguar's claims. Emails were allegedly shown during interviews suggesting outreach behind scenes. Authenticity debated. Context questioned. Timing analyzed. And timing is everything.
He made a comment on Drink Champs and he said that Puffy was the feds. What you think about him saying that?
Well, when he talking about the feds is he could be saying that he's their ear. Puff is the one who goes back and he tells like he did when Suge, when Jay Prince, when Irv Gotti, I think it was Irv Gotti could have been a part of that too. When they was all trying to get that distribution company together, he the one went back and told Jimmy Iovine them, and then him and Kirk Burroughs Kirk said he didn't know what he was doing. They took paperwork and they took some stuff up to the feds, you understand, regarding Death Row now. I don't know the intricate details of what they took, but I know they went up to the feds one day and they took some paperwork up there.
Because while interviews dropped, legal developments around Diddy were intensifying. Public scrutiny was rising. 50 Cent kept posting. Netflix rumors gained traction. Alleged tapes, alleged recordings, none officially released in court as of these discussions, but enough to keep the internet in suspense. And that's where it gets strategic. Some commentators now suggest the loudest crisis belonged to Diddy, but the quiet recalibration belonged to Jay-Z. Not panic, not
I guess Pac had got whiffed that Jay-Z was in town. Well, you know he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you got to realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said some, was going to do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy too. So Chaz Williams, who was over Black Hands. Black Hands is one of the labels who did that, Black Gangster had every artist in New York on. And Chaz, who is now getting into the music business, has become a music executive, and he was once a former gangster who was on American Gangster BET because they had him down for robbing 161 banks. That's what they put in their program and everything. But Chaz was a gangster in New York City that became a music executive. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not going to come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not going to do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the booth? So I think he may have talked to Big D, and Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him. Because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out of his room.
So that story was really true about Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he was scared. Probably still is scared.
There were even podcast conversations alleging that paperwork had been taken to federal authorities years ago involving various industry figures. Names like Suge Knight and historic labels like Rockefeller and Death Row were mentioned in discussions. Again, allegations. No confirmed court finding tying Jay-Z to wrongdoing in these claims. But once those words are spoken
quietly
publicly,
and acts decisively.
He was trying to start Death Row East Coast. And that would have been Pac, Eric B, And you know what I'm saying? All the dudes here in New York. So then they're going to have groups coming back and forth from Cali to New York. So it was just good business just to chill out with that. But they was trying to chill out the whole thing. They had a big meeting and Puff wouldn't send a representative or let Zip or Chaz represent him in the meeting.
Yeah, that's a wild story. Yeah, who told you this story, if you don't mind me asking?
I was there.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know you was there. So you was there when Jay was scared to come out his hotel room. I had no idea, man.
I used to roll with Chaz every day, bro. And then it came out. And then it came out, somebody else told the story. But that I think it may have been Dame Dash or something like that told the story. A lot of my stories get out, man, but they don't believe when I tell them.
Another narrative floating through commentary is the idea that certain artists
about what he says
informed or
happened with
cooperated
Combs in
past
2011
eras.
and 2020.
These are heavy accusations, not proven, not legally established, but repeated enough in interviews to shape online opinion. And here's the bigger pattern. Repetition creates perception. Meanwhile, 50 Cent continues amplifying Diddy's controversies in public. Some view it as rivalry. Others see strategic branding. But it indirectly widens a gap between Jay-Z and Diddy. And that gap feels intentional to observers. Old rumors resurface when power weakens. That's how the industry works. What once sounded like conspiracy becomes maybe. What once felt untouchable becomes questioned. And alliances that look permanent suddenly appear fragile. But look closely. Jay-Z hasn't made emotional statements. He hasn't lashed out. He hasn't addressed each rumor individually. He's stayed calculated. And in high-level business, quiet moves often speak louder than loud defenses. So is this betrayal or survival? Is distancing from controversy disloyal or intelligent? There's no court ruling declaring Jay-Z turned on Diddy. There's no verified evidence proving secret federal deals. There are only interviews, allegations,
about what he
public
says
behavior
happened
shifts,
with Combs
and
in
timing that
2011
raises
and 2020.
eyebrows. And maybe that's the real story. Not explosive claims, not viral clips, but power recalibrating behind closed doors. Because in hip-hop and in business, the loudest person in the room isn't always the most protected. Diddy faces loud, visible crisis. Jay-Z stands in quiet composure. One absorbs headlines. The other absorbs nothing publicly. And when Netflix rumors swirl and rivals speak freely, silence becomes either innocence or insulation. So here's a question nobody can answer yet. In a world where reputation can overnight, is staying silent proof you have nothing to hide, or proof you knew when to step away before the fire spread?